So Crash 4 has officially come out. The newest entry in the legendary Crash Bandicoot series, Crash 4 has come out and sales are 80% down from the Insane trilogy. Like it is straight up a huge bomb. Nobody's talking about it. No one's excited about this release. No one ran out and bought Crash Bandicoot 4 because, spoiler alert, Crash is trash. It was a really embarrassing thing. Like, really just, wow, from announcement to release. Like, this was absolutely Activision's attempt at imitating the Nintendo release cycle, right? You know what I mean? Where like Nintendo can announce Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity a couple of months before it comes out and have it be bigger than Final Fantasy 16. You know what I mean? Like they tried to imitate the Nintendo model and they failed. Like when you get right down to the nitty gritty, when you get right down to like the core of the problem, like Crash Bandicoot is simply not as popular as even the most mediocre Nintendo franchise. Like, I legit believe that series like Chibi Robo, Pikmin, Star Fox, F-Zero, like, those would have done better than this. Like, I'm not exaggerating here. Like, I think those franchises have more of a fan base than something like Crash Bandicoot. Crash was only relevant due to being a PlayStation exclusive. Like, for a lot of people who only had PlayStations, casual gamers who picked one up due to the low cost, like low barrier point of entry, right? People who picked up Crash, who simply didn't know that Nintendo games were better, picked this series up, played it, and enjoyed it for being like, yeah, I've never played a video game before. And when the Insane trilogy came out, which was a re-release of these old games, like people picked it up out of a sense of nostalgia. The Insane trilogy's success was blatantly due to nostalgia. Like it had nothing to do with people like actually loving and appreciating these platform games because let's face it, let's face facts, they aren't very good. I wouldn't even call them mediocre. Like I would straight up say like Crash is not worth playing. Crash Bandicoot is trash. And I think, like, without that feeling of nostalgia, without that feeling of, like, oh, yeah, I played this when I was a kid, like, the Crash games have no momentum. And without that, Crash 4, right, a game that looks and plays exactly like the Insane trilogy, can come out and bomb. It's because nobody likes Crash. Like, when you get right down to it, people only liked Crash Bandicoot because of this sense of nostalgia. They were blinded by their memories of this video game franchise. It is very, very frustrating. Very interesting to see this happen time and time again across a wide range of video game titles, right? It's not just Crash Bandicoot this happens to. I would say, like, this is the typical PlayStation pattern in which a game comes out, it gets 3 entries that do reasonably well, and then it just tapers off into irrelevancy, and they try to reboot it, like, 10, 15 years later. Reboots or remasters by that point, which is the phase we're in now with a lot of these, with a lot of these older PlayStation franchises. Like, Crash just complete failure, right? Complete trash. Crash 4 bombed, and I am glad to see that. I'm glad that I got to see this happen.